The Live Stream Code and Rating Administration has rated this online event PG. All ages admitted. Please be kind and stay on topic.
Tonight's live stream is all about one of the most amazing decades for music, the 80s.
Wow, let me go big screen here. There we go. That's much better. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of The Good Stuff Live. My name is Dave Sundstrom, and if you enjoy talking about music, movies, and TV from decades gone by, you've come to the right place. Tonight, we're going to talk probably more about music than anything else, but TV as well, because we'll be talking a lot about MTV. It all coincides with the March 2026 issue of ReMIND magazine. I love these guys. They have been such great partners to this channel, wonderful collaborators. And this issue, maybe one of my all-time favorites, we'll be giving away an annual subscription to ReMIND magazine later on during the live stream tonight. And I've got a very special guest that I'm going to be bringing on screen in just a moment. But first, I want to say hello to everybody that's here. So let me scroll up to the very, very top and see who's been hanging out. long time, not just channel subscriber, but channel member. John Collins is here. Welcome, John. Channel member Queen KC2. Welcome. Channel member Angela McArdle. Welcome. Channel member Camaraderie. I think that might be my friend Justin Aylett. He keeps changing his username, but I think that's who Camaraderie is. So, hey, Justin. Channel member Rachel in the 208. Angela, I keep hoping you get that magazine soon. Let's see who else is here. Gary Carpenter is here. Welcome, Gary. Good to have you here. And Gary says, R.I.P. Jennifer Runyon. Indeed. Rest in peace. What a sweet, sweet lady. Someone who I interacted with just a little bit, but she was just so great. And sad to see her leave us so soon. She was just 65 years old. Brave, valiant battle with cancer. Let's see. Who else is hanging out in the live stream? Oops, Lamont Bradford is here. Welcome, Lamont. Channel member Tracy Roth Myers is here. Welcome. Good to have you with us tonight, Tracy. Hope all is well. My friend Scott Barnes, my great friend Scott, who we need to get back together and do another Wide World of Sodas soon. But thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Scott. Michelle Books is here. Auburn Kim is here. Welcome. Good to have you here. Now, this is an interesting one. I can't even say it. They say, hi, Dave. How are you? I'm doing good. This is username Ant10473055751. And Lila Mirabella from France is here. Welcome. Good to have you with us. Channel member Tracy Roth Myers is using her milestone message. She says, nice to see you. And look at that. She has been a supporting channel member for 52 months. That's incredible. Incredible. Classic channel member, Classic Guy 66, Carlos Ceja. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for letting me know you've changed your username. That's helpful to me. Welcome. Good to have you with us tonight. And let's see. Nick Mamonis is here as well. Always great to see Nick. And Angela McArdle is using her milestone message. She's been a supporting channel member for 34 months. My, how time flies when we're having fun, right, Angela? Angela is my resident A-Team fan. And whenever I see an episode of the A-Team or anything about the show, I always think about her. Willie Bowen is here. Welcome, Willie. Good to have you with us. Ward Arcade says, greetings, Sir Dave. Thanks for keeping things friendly. You betcha. And thanks for your great comments. I love reading your comments on my videos. Let's see who else. Man known only as Jeff, 7106. Welcome. Good to have you with us tonight. And I think I am caught up. So with that said, I've got a special guest. He has tremendous, tremendous history with all things related to music and television entertainment. And I'm really super excited to bring him on to the live stream tonight. I did in my, I'm just so excited that I got playing around with all sorts of fun little tools that are available to me. And I've created a little montage / theme song that I'm going to play before I bring him on board onto the stream tonight. So I think you all know who it is, but let me go ahead and play the montage, and then we'll bring him on screen so that he can share some of his memories while we collectively reminisce together. So here we go.
Welcome to Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse, where the fun never ends, and you'll always find new friends at Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse. At Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse. Welcome to Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse. Welcome to Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse, where the fun never ends.
And the fun truly does never end with Uncle Paul. Let me go ahead and bring him on screen. Hey, Uncle Paul, how you doing tonight?
Dave, I'm almost speechless. Thank you, Dave. That was incredible. I didn't see that until it went out for the viewers. What a great! I know what an incredible musician and vocalist you are, but that is just thank you so much, and I am honored to be here. I'm so touched, Dave, for you having me on here live, and also to be able to share some stories with your faithful, vast viewers.
Well,
Thank you.
we have a shared community. I know a lot of the people that are subscribed to your channel are also channel members or channel subscribers here. And if you're not, folks, when I get done with this live stream, I'm going to put, I have forgotten to do this. I got so excited with all the other things. I need to put the link to Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse in the description section of this live stream. So I'm going to do that immediately after this live stream tonight. But you know what? You could just type in Uncle Paul at YouTube, and you are going to find his channel. And I got to tell you, it's an absolute treasure trove of wonderfulness. I mean, just look behind Uncle Paul right now. Look at behind it. It's like I could just spend hours in whatever room Paul is in right now. It just, aside from the awesome copy of ReMIND magazine that's right behind you, look at all the Planet of the Apes stuff. I mean, you just get lost. Woody Woodpecker. I mean, just so many different. I see Charlie's Angels, Bazooka Gum.
Mr. Red right there.
Yeah.
Mr. Red Admiral. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And not to mention the Beatles memorabilia that you have. It's incredible. What a wonderful channel you have. And your videos are to be treasured. I don't just watch them once. I usually watch them multiple times. They're just that good.
Right, Dave. I'm very touched. Thank you so much. Again, that means so much to me because I love your channel. I've been watching it for a very long time. And again, I know you don't like to hear this type of stuff, but to hear your accolades and your approval, again, means the world to me. And I know how much it means to my buddy who does this with me, who I lovingly refer to as Joe Friday. So let me just say, may I do some you're in the Playhouse. And we always do that. I'm always ready.
It's great to be in the Playhouse with you tonight,
Yes.
Uncle Paul.
Thank you for the kind words. Again, it means so much because I do this really. I'm in retirement. I don't get ahead of myself, but we're doing it just to see where it goes. Starting October 17th of 2024. And I'm having a ball with it. I really am.
I'm glad you are. And our goal is to get you to, I know that numbers are just numbers, and they, to a certain extent, they're just a vanity metric on YouTube these days. But still, Building that subscriber base is an important part of building any sort of community.
Yes.
And I know you've done a great job of building that so far. And it's because of the depth of knowledge that you have. And, there's the folks like myself that saw all of this transpire from the outside looking in, but you were actually there on the inside. And I know you have a handful of stories that you graciously offered to share with my community tonight. And so I'm going to let you do that. But before we do, keeping in the spirit of ReMIND magazine and its theme for the month, 80s music, I thought we'd talk a little bit about MTV. And I have a little video that I've put together. I put together I want everybody to go back in time with us for the first 10 minutes of MTV. But don't worry, folks. Through the magic of editing and other wonderful tools, the first 10 minutes will be whittled down to just under 3 minutes. So let's do that. And then, Paul, I'm going to be a member of the community and just be all ears. And I'd just love to have you share some of your experiences with us. You up for that?
Yes, very much so. Thank you, Dave.
Perfect. Okay, let me go ahead and fire this thing up. Let's see. There we go.
T-minus 27 seconds. We've gone for redundant set sequencer start. T-minus 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15, 14, 13. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We've gone for main engine start. We have main engine start.
Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll.
In the beginning was the music, but there was no one around to hear it. As the population grew in numbers, music grew in popularity. Man invented the radio and the phonograph. High fidelity made quite a splash. But it was full stereo sound that made the explosion. Soon television came along and gave us the gift of sight. But it was cable that gave us the freedom of choice. For a while it seemed there was nothing new on the horizon. Announcing the latest achievement in home entertainment, the power of sight, video, the power of sound. MTV Music Television.
I'm Alan Hunter. I will be with you right after Mark. We'll be covering the latest in music news coast to coast here on MTV Music Television.
I'm Martha Quinn. The music will continue non-stop on MTV Music Television, the newest component of your stereo system. I'll be with you right after Alan.
Well, all right, I'm JJ Jackson. I'll be sitting in with the latest video music performances the way they were meant to be. That's in stereo on MTV Music Television. You'll never look at music the same way again.
Hi, I'm Nina Blackwood, and I'll be with you after JJ right here on MTV, the world's first video music channel, all day, all night in stereo.
This is it. Welcome to MTV Music Television, the world's first 24-hour stereo video music channel. Now, just moments ago, all of the VJs and the crew here at MTV collectively hit our executive producer, Sue Steinberg, over the head with a bottle of champagne, and behold, a new concept is born. The best of TV combined with the best of radio. Your favorite tunes are never too far away anytime you tune in. I'm Mark Goodman, and I'll be here this time every weeknight with the latest concert information and music news. Now, starting right now, you'll never look at music the same way again.
Paul, share with us your music/MTV memories.
Dave, what memories that just came back to me, all flashing back to me. And I remember, of course, everything was on what they call 3/4-inch tape back then, but that little promo reel that we had. All right, I'm going to show you. I do have the Video Killed the Radio Star 45 I brought. So it's Nice by the Buggles, which you did show us. That was the first official video ever played on MTV. All right. So the 1980s was a very pivotal year for me. I was very blessed to be able to have a 40-year television career, which started on June 23rd, 1980. And in the local cable company in New Jersey, which was named Vision Cable. And they were primarily located in the Fort Lee, New Jersey area, which is about 10 minutes from the George Washington Bridge, now known actually as Spectrum throughout the years. So I was able to spend 40 years in a blessed television career. And may I show a picture also of what I'm really being honest, everyone, the viewers. So this is what I look like in 1981, too, there. So there I am. My lovely day. But I picked this photo because it's so 80s, right? With the jacket.
Yeah, the thin tie, the thin tie.
It looked like I was about to serve some Chinese food.
Nice head of hair too there, Paul.
Well, thank you. I know. Where did that hair go? Yes. So so MTV again. Now I saw the launch of cable news network, CNN and ESPN. These were the early channels of cable. Even HBO, let me explain to share with the viewers. Home box office only came on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon back in 1980, 81. They had about an 8 or 9 hour day. But cable, for everyone that's had it for a very long time, was a very easy sell and something so unique and foreign to everyone, because the selling point really was that everyone was able to get rid of their rabbit ears. So the first selling point of cable was perfect reception. No one really cared what the 10 or 12 channels, and that was it that you got. And I wanted to bring back, we always love nostalgia here. So I wanted to bring back some memories for anyone that had cable in the early days. I know this is one of the very early cable boxes where you actually, there was a wire, by the way. It wasn't a remote by then. You still ran a wire to your television set. And it's a 3-tier converter box, of course, going 2 through 13. And then there was alphabetized channel numbers. So we're going to get to this, but this M is very important to the story. Okay. I think the people can realize, yes. Thank you, Dave. Now we have another box converter, as they say, that this was in every home. It pretty much got cable in those very early 80s days.
That was the one that we had. I remember that box so very, very well.
Yes. Then this was an upgrade because this is when they went to numbers. Now I remember my cable company, Vision Cable, again, that it ended at about channel 26, 27. I remember always home box office was on 14, and that was like the foreign land. And I think also a great memory of cable was, again, there was not enough channels for the cable companies to carry. So in those wonderful days, they brought in what they called distant signals. And that would be like if you were in the New York area, you could see stations from Philadelphia. And I remember off the top of my head, WTAF channel 29 in Philadelphia, and WKBS channel 48 out of Burlington, Philadelphia, and WPHL channel 17. And many people on the East Coast got WSBK TV 38 Boston as a tribute to Dana Hersey, who used to have the Movie Loft program. If I start to digress too much, Dave, let me know. All right. Because the memories flood through me. So I started as an intern with Vision Cable on the East Coast, which had about 14 or 15. It was a privately owned company. On again, June 23rd, 1980. Now, when MTV launched on August 1st, 1981, still cable in its infancy, it wasn't like a big deal. Anytime a new channel, Vision Cable was a very progressive cable company. I give them a lot of credit for taking channels from day one, the launch date, because a lot of companies did not do that in those days. Hence, MTV was not going to be on what was then called Manhattan Cable in 1981. So here MTV was headquartered in New York City, and they were unable to see their own feed.
That's crazy.
Yes. So, but Vision Cable to the rescue, because we were going to carry MTV from day one, August 1st at midnight. Hence video killed the radio star with the Buggles. So I remember that Bob Pittman, who was the president of MTV, which is then, I believe, owned by Warner Amex, was the company that owned MTV, called, well, let's find out the list of cable companies that are carrying it from launch in the immediate area. Well, the closest one and pretty much the only one was Vision Cable, right across, as I said before, 10 minutes from the George Washington Bridge. So they said, well, you're carrying us, and we'd like to have our MTV launch party, since we can't see it in New York, at your cable company. Can we come over? And we'll pay for everything. Okay. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So, and great memories. And I admit, I'm 18 years old at that point, 1981. And it wasn't like, all right, it was exciting because here a channel that was going to be for the youth area. So we said, I mean, everything was exciting to us when CNN signed on there. It's like, or ESPN, like I said before, it was always like, wait a minute, how is a channel someone's going to do news for 24 hours a day? And that, honestly, to the viewers, that was the thinking. The same thing with sports. What? There's going to be a channel that does nothing but sports for 24 hours a day. ESPN, which, by the way, the acronym stands for Entertainment Sports Programming Network. And that should be a good trivia question, Dave. So to the MTV story, yes, the owners of the cable, Vision Cable, they were very cool, since they were, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, this is where the history books, and I'm very sincere about this, get it wrong, because I've actually seen little documentaries or someone commenting, not that it's that important, but to me it is, since I was there. Yeah. They say that we were in they just generally say that, maybe I'm getting ahead of time, we were in a restaurant in Fort Lee. That's not where we were. So let me be 100% correct the record there. So we, the cable company, again on MTV's dime or Warner Amex's dime, we rented the basement of a restaurant called The Loft, which was located in Fairview, New Jersey, which was about 5 minutes from where the cable company was. Probably the same proximity as Fort Lee. And because Fort Lee is a very much more popular town in New Jersey, since it is the gateway to the George Washington Bridge in New York City. But we went to The Loft in Fairview, New Jersey, which I believe, I should have Googled this afternoon, but as of a few years ago, it's still a working restaurant bar. So I remember our technical crew, our engineers, spent the whole day. The restaurant didn't have cable either, but we didn't care about that. We were going to wire the Loft restaurant with cable, no problem. And that they had a little party basement area. So our technical crew spent the whole afternoon wiring the basement for cable. And they certainly weren't going to disconnect it after the fact. Okay, now you're going to have access to cable down here. And so we went to the big night comes, I said, the evening of then July 31st, since the launch date was August 1st, 1981, and not till midnight is when the NASA footage shows there that they used for promotional purposes. Now, again, we're excited at the fact that, oh, this is cool. Yeah. But here, the 5 VJs were there. Everyone was there, obviously celebrating. But it didn't mean, because who even knew what a VJ was? At this point, standing for video jockey. Again, MTV, we know, coined all these wonderful terms. So I remember everyone was very nice. As I said, wonderful. We got to see all the faces of the 5 original VJs in the montage, Dave, that you put together there. Of course, my heart still skipped a beat at the lovely Nina Blackwood, who I certainly had a 3 or 4 year crush on her, and I got to meet Nina several times. Besides that evening, during the MTV launch party, we, especially as an 18-year-old kid, I was just very shy. You know, I wouldn't approach anybody. Just like, oh, that's the on-air talent, as they were described, and they're going to be our VJs. But it was a wonderful evening, and I hold those memories so fond to my heart. Now, to step a little about a few months later, I did have more of an association with VJ Mark Goodman, because Mark Goodman, they all lived in the city or whatever. And again, all those segments, by the way, even though they appeared live to everyone, everything was pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Even as I said, with mistakes and all, as I said, warts and all. So they did a wonderful job at actually have this is a nice screenshot of Nina Blackwood. That and she I just and she signed it for me, which is very sweet.
Wow.
I have, and she wrote me throughout the years. I had correspondence from Nina. Such a wonderful, sweet woman. I think she took pity on a young Uncle Paul who probably admitted that he was crushing on her.
Yeah. I was always more of a Martha guy, but it's good to know that Nina had her fans too.
Of course, Mrs. Bobby Brady there.
Yes.
And I did want to say condolences to Jennifer Runyon. I have my very Brady Christmas, again, in the spirit of the 80s, the VHS and the DVD, but I made sure I brought out the VHS.
Yes. Rest in peace, Jennifer Runyon. Christmas Cindy.
Yes, exactly. And so Mark Goodman. So for some reason, maybe not for any ego reason, but he wanted to see his segments more than maybe the other VJs. So Mark would come by evenings. I worked Master Control a lot, we did a local news program on our cable company. So we had programming on what they call the Local Origination Channel, or LO, as it was called back then. So at night, since Mark knew the cable company is the only place that Vision Cable was the only one carrying MTV. So where can I see myself? I can't see it in my own apartment in New York City. So he would come over to Vision Cable at night. We had a nice comfy conference room with a nice, beautiful couch and the biggest CRT television that you could get back in 1981. So he would come over at night and watch his segments, because I guess he was on probably, pre-taped from 7 o'clock on or something. But the fun part too was he brought his then girlfriend, who he eventually married, Carol Miller, who they had both met at WPLJ radio in New York. Now at this time they were still dating, so he would bring Carol as well. But I know they were married for quite a long time, I believe. They got married in 1982. I wrote on my little cheat note here. So they would both come by and sit on the couch, close the door, I be honest with you, and watch himself together, the pre-newlyweds. But that's another wonderful story that I always think about. It's like, because at that point, I don't act starstruck at all, but at least at like 6 or 7 months in, well, I was watching MTV constantly, much more even than for Nina Blackwood. It was on 24 hours a day when I was home. It was incredible. So then they're like, oh, Mark's here, and to have a conversation with him. He was always so nice. They all were so much.
Yeah, if I can interrupt, I got to share
no,
with you,
please.
Paul.
Yes.
You mentioned that MTV was on day and night. It certainly was in the Sundstrom home. As a matter of fact, my dad was one of those guys who said, I'm not paying for TV. Free TV should be free, right? So I had a job working at Kmart, and I got the MTV, or I got the cable TV for one purpose and one purpose alone, MTV, and it played nonstop, at least when I was watching it. That was all I would watch. It was just video music and a 24/7 network that played it all the time. I mean, they were just feeding us commercials the whole time, but we loved it. We loved it. It was fantastic.
Exactly. Yes. It might have been pivotal, because my dad was very supportive. He put up with I had television on as much as I could keep the television on in a 24-hour period and he was very, understanding of me watching the classics here in New York. I'd be watching WNEW Channel 5 here in New York and WPIX, known as 11 Alive at that point. And that's what I grew up with constantly. I Love Lucy, the Flintstones, all the good stuff, Dave. I think I've heard that before. Yes. Now, I remember my dad didn't know what cable television was, but I convinced him when our town got franchised, because that's what would happen, that the cable company, and that actually still works to this day, that you can only have one cable company in each town. There are providers. The world has so much changed in 50 years.
Yeah.
But still, there's only one cable company per town. And that's not, again, as a provider.
Interesting.
So we got it in 1979, a year before I started working for Vision Cable. And I won't say, well, everything's relative, but yes, for this cable box and everything else, and the 21 channels that you got, I think our first bill was $14.95. Yes, $14.95 for cable, everyone, in 1979. Fortunately, when I got hired by the cable company, a bonus was free cable. So I did enjoy that for all those years. And Dad certainly liked that until I moved out when I was 21 in 1984. But they kept it. But my dad enjoyed it. But I think, again, I bought my own television for my bedroom. Now that I'm actually openly thinking about it, I bought that TV in late 1981. And as wonderful as my dad was about sitting through the Flintstones and the Honeymooners all day long and Gomer Pyle, MTV, he was not going to sit through without maybe complaining after a half hour. So I think that was probably like, oh, this will be cool. And at that point, television was just getting cooler for me, right? You could watch David Letterman at 12:30 in the morning. Right?
Crazy.
Talk about the 80s, of course. So we throw that back to other things as well. Yes. And by the way, it astounds me, and this is absolutely true. And I'm looking at it right now. It's an Hitachi. That 19-inch, and this is not a plug for Hitachi, but maybe it is, CRT television that I just said, bought in 1981. So everyone do the math. I'm not kidding. 45 years ago, right? Still works perfectly.
Wow.
Yes.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
It's 5 feet from me. It's like my fourth TV here in the Playhouse. But my motto is, I don't give up on anything till it gives up on me. And that includes relationships.
I love it. That is a fantastic motto. Now, when we were talking before the live stream tonight, you mentioned that you have had an encounter with a certain thin white Duke. That I would love to hear that story, being a big fan of Mr. Bowie.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for reminding me. All right, so again, when I started my little speech there about the 80s being so pivotal to me, meaning, again, starting my career in 1980, well, then 6 months before the big going to the MTV launch party, which again might have not meant much to me at the time, but in history and retrospect, I'm so proud to be able to share that story. So in the New York, New Jersey area, but he's known basically by outside of this area, Floyd Vivino, Uncle Floyd, who was briefly syndicated also in the late 1980s, but he was a soupy sales type. You remember Uncle Floyd, Dave? Too much?
I am aware of him. Of course, I never saw him in my area, but I am aware of Uncle Floyd.
Well, and sadly, by the way, I would be remiss to say that we lost Uncle Floyd last month at age 73. But he was a tremendous comedian and a showman, entertainer. So I went to, on January 29th, 1981, 6 months before the big MTV launch, Uncle Floyd was having what he called a birthday bash party. I have the original tickets here that I'm looking at the Bottom Line Club in New York City, which was, here they are. It was $7.50 to go see the big Uncle Floyd show at the Bottom Line. Now, again, being a giant Uncle Floyd fan, and I was very blessed that I certainly call Floyd Vivino Uncle Floyd a friend of mine. I met him in 1977, and because, again, I guess of the television connection, I got to always see him. And so we're sitting in the audience through the stage, and it was my sister and my mother and myself. And my sister was a big David Bowie fan. And she starts saying, it's like, wait a minute, I swear behind you, Mom, that's David Bowie. No, of course, no. It's like, obviously it was. And so my mom also, I would have to say, my mom also was a big David Bowie fan. Probably I just wasn't cool enough yet. So I didn't appreciate it as much, I admit. But once I knew that, later on, by the way, we found out that David Bowie was a huge Uncle Floyd fan, hence he's at the place. But at the time, you didn't know that, like, why is David Bowie here? Like, we know David Bowie made a song about Uncle Floyd later in his life. And then he openly talked about that actually it was John Lennon who turned him on to the Uncle Floyd show. So I can just
comes back to the Beatles.
It always does. Yes. So we were one of pretty much the only one, meaning that we had a camera with us because we're going to take pictures of Uncle Floyd. So my mother went into action. So she took 3 photographs of David Bowie here, which I'm going to show.
I have heard you tell other stories about your mother. She sounds like a saint.
She was wonderful. I lost Mom last May, but she lived life on her own terms, and she lived till 86. So God bless her. So yes, these are the 3 photographs that my mom took instantly of Uncle Floyd, of David Bowie. Now, I love this. This is the best one they took, because like he's looking right into the camera, and it's funny in the background. You can't see it, but there's a fellow wearing an Uncle Floyd T-shirt. And actually, I noticed here on this photo, David is wearing the Uncle Floyd official button, and I brought a sample of that to show people. But that's the button above my finger. That's the button that he is wearing from TV 68, which was the local UHF station that Uncle Floyd broadcast on. So took those pictures right away. And of course, my mother, right on it, whips out whatever, she wasn't ready for any autographs, but whips out, she had a little piece of paper. It's packed away now, but I do have it. The 4-leaf clover she had on a little envelope it was a window envelope, and got David Bowie to sign that. And he just said, thanks, David Bowie. And then there's a little 81 in the corner there. But he was so nice. But the moment, and obviously this all happened within the course of 35 to 40 seconds is what happens. But then people noticed and security pounced. No one else got pictures of David Bowie or certainly not his autograph. So that is a trade. And I did, shortly thereafter, I discovered David Bowie so much. I mean, through my sister and mom playing him all the time. But no, I love David Bowie. I saw him in concert many times.
That's awesome. What a great story. What a great experience. And, I've heard you talk in other videos about your mom hauling you and your sister to various concerts. And
John Lennon. Yes.
Yeah.
John Lennon was my first concert. We got on the bus, went to Madison Square Garden in 1972. And yes, my mom was very cool. She didn't drive, but she did that stuff for us.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing some of your memories with us tonight, Paul. I really appreciate it.
I'm honored so much, Dave. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone who is watching and commenting.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, I'd like to go to the comments here in just a second, but I do want to, just before I forget, I want to encourage folks to
please
let's subscribe to Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse. If you like my stuff, I guarantee you are going to love his stuff as well. He just lived it. He lived it. He is his museum, his hall of nostalgia, whatever you want to call that, serves as the backdrop for all of his videos. It's just so wonderful, and I can't say enough good things about it. So, folks, let's all subscribe and show a true, innovative YouTube content creator our support.
Thank you, Dave, so much. And I would appreciate anyone joining the Playhouse for me, because I'm having a ball with it in my retirement. We're a little over a year and a half old. We have 31 little episodes up there. And again, it's Dave Sundstrom approved.
Yeah. They may be little, but they're mighty. They're mighty episodes.
Thank you, Dave. It means so much to me, really.
Stick around and do trivia with us here.
I would love to. Thank you.
Awesome. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go into the comments and see. I think I have a comment from channel member John Collins I want to put on screen. It's a little off topic, but I'm going to put it on anyway. I mean, a guy who's been a supporting channel member for 53 months, you don't ignore those kind of supporters. John says, PSA, I'm down on CNN's app, not CNN. Their app has no search function. For $42 or $69 annually, their archived material should be commercial free. Couldn't agree more. You know what? I think companies like CNN, and it'll be interesting to see with the upcoming purchase by Paramount Skydance, what happens with CNN and things like their app. We'll have to see what it's constantly changing. We think about the world, talked about the world in 1980 and 1981, where we couldn't envision 24-hour, 7 days a week news or sports and music. And here we are, where there are just so many different services that offer news, music, sports, night and day. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with CNN. Thanks for the comment, John. Let me go over to just the regular chat and see if there's some other folks that I haven't said hello to. I'd love to say hello to people that arrived a bit late. Let's see. I'm seeing some familiar names here. I'm just going to go back about 5 minutes. It looks like we've got Chris, who goes by Kenneth Wilkinson 8244. Here, good to have you here with us tonight, Chris. Oh, look at this, Ms. Elizabeth. Now, talk about just a treasure trove of information. This lady knows her stuff as well, and a supporting channel member. Thanks for joining us tonight. And did I see that Ian, aka Retro Serial, is hanging out with us tonight? Look at that. He's here hanging out with us. Well, good to see you, Ian. Thanks for joining us tonight. Look at this. Ian got the #1 fan badge tonight. That is awesome. That's something that YouTube is doing now on live streams, Ian. So people that are the most engaged in the chat get those badges. And so it kind of keeps people competitive to stay engaged in the chat. And not something I specifically did, but it's really cool. And I'm glad to see they're doing that. Looks like I have a couple of super chats that just popped in. One from Angela McArdle. Thank you so much, Angela. I really appreciate this. It's funny. I'm getting super chats from people that are already supporting channel members. That's what your milestone message is for. Use that. You don't need to give me any more money, folks. I appreciate you, though. John Collins says, Uncle Paul, your channel is wonderful. You know so much about MTV. What was the video that played before the premiere of Remote Control? Do you know the answer to that, Paul?
That's incredible. I remember Remote Control, the game show, which was very cool and fun. Actually, a former girlfriend of mine was on that show. But I don't. So we'll have to, because that was a week. It was a game show that was on 5 days a week, starting in the late 80s to early 90s.
Right. Yeah. Ken Ober was the host.
Yes, Ken Ober.
Colin Quinn was his sidekick.
Yes.
And a very young Adam Sandler made appearances on the show as well.
Okay. Yeah.
I was a big fan of Remote Control, but I don't know the answer to your question.
No, for us loving trivia so much, yes, that was right up our alley. The coolest thing you could be watching. Just made MTV cooler.
Yes, it did. And little did we know that, I think, was that MTV's first program aside from music videos?
I think it was. Yes. And that was also was unique that, they're doing an original programming, as they called it.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
That would be many years before The Real World, which also generally people think of as one of the first original productions. That would be reality. But since this was a scripted show, yes.
Right. I mean, I cheered these things when they appeared, but now that MTV has officially deceased as of December 31st, 2025.
Well, can I? And I don't mean to correct you, Dave. The media got that wrong, to be honest with you. Okay, it's over. All right. Yes. Did the normal MTV channel stop playing music videos over a decade or more ago? 100% yes. But there are other channels still, MTV Live, MTV Classic. The news media only reported, and I'm not saying all the big against the news media, because I was part of it. All right. But it was the overseas operations. All those channels still exist in America. And that's the part that didn't seem to get out on the news.
That's interesting that you mentioned that, because I read the news pieces and I knew that it was still available on some of the streaming channels. I've seen the MTV 80s and some MTV channels there where they're still playing MTV video clips and other things.
Well, it's called MTV Live. MTV Live and MTV Classic, which I admit I still have hardwired cable here in the Playhouse. And yes, I get 4 MTV channels on my cable lineup.
Now, MTV has no music, but the other ones still do. So
Absolutely,
that's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting you mentioned that. I'm glad to see that they're still there. I am still a bit confused by that announcement. And I mean, if they want to call that the death date, that's fine, because the MTV that you and I grew up with it's gone.
It was gone a long time ago.
Yeah.
Very long time ago. But as far it's the overseas operations that they closed down.
Gotcha.
But I put on MTV Live classics. They play modern day artists, Chappell Roan and Sabrina Carpenter all the time.
Yeah. Dolph Quick, 2686. Dolph, that's awful nice. He gifted awful nice of you. He gifted a membership to the channel to someone, and I think the way that works is he can send the gift out there into the ether, the chat, and our YouTube automatically assigns that membership to someone. So I don't know who got it, but congratulations. Let me see if I can see who got that membership. Maybe not. Hard for me to tell here, but thank you so much for doing that, Dolph. That's awesome and incredibly generous of you to do that. Let me go ahead and take that off the screen. Here's what I want to do. Let me go ahead and play some vintage commercials.
Love those, Dave.
Yes, they're fun. These ones will, one of the things that I'm sure you noticed this, Paul, because we were watching TV at the same exact time, is the impact of MTV on all sorts of media, including commercials. And you would see, not at launch, not August 1st, 1981, but into the 82, 83, especially 84, the commercials that played on MTV had that kind of quick paced editing, music, everything. So I'm going to play a handful of commercials that kind of are music themed and have that editing style. I'll also play a little commercial from, we'll get going with the drawing. So let me go ahead and also remind folks, now would be the time to type hashtag ReMIND into the chat. That will make you eligible for the drawing. I'm giving away, the good folks over at ReMIND Magazine are allowing me to give away an annual subscription. So get the hashtag ReMIND into the chat. And then when I come back, we will give that away. We'll play some trivia. We'll wrap things up. Thanks everybody so much for hanging out with us tonight. This has already been one of the highlights for me in terms of live streams, recent live streams. So let me go ahead and fire up the videos.
And now, these messages.
We've got the music and the videos on sale now at Musicland. Save on Private Dancer, plus the video Tina Turner Live. Pick up Around the World in a Day and see Prince and the Revolution Live, the video. See and hear Madonna, Like a Virgin, on sale now. Save on these and selected Video Award winners, now on sale at Musicland. Musicland! We bring entertainment to life.
Jericho, just out and outrageous. Cherry Coca-Cola. Check it out and find out. Taste is what it's all about. Outrageously smooth, outrageously light. Cherry makes it wild, Coca-Cola makes it right. New Cherry Coke, outrageous. New Cherry Coke, outrageous.
Casio presents the Johnson 5. Rick Johnson on drums. Johnson on bass. On guitar. On piano. Rick Johnson on trumpet. In other words, Rick Johnson on a Casio MT100. With a graphic equalizer, built-in rhythms, and one-finger Casio chord, it's easy to play. And it's battery-powered so you can take it on the road. Casio keyboards for the Johnson 5, the Smith 5.
Opening an ice-cold Pepsi, new generation style. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
See the description section of this live stream for a special deal on one of my favorite things to read, ReMIND magazine.
The past is a blast when you read ReMIND magazine.
It's time to give away an annual subscription to ReMIND magazine.
All right, let's do this. If you want to win the magazine subscription, type hashtag ReMIND in the chat right now. There we go. All right, let's see. I wanted to actually let's get this in on the screen. There we go. All right, we've got 14 entries. I feel like I've given people plenty of time to get your hashtag ReMIND into the chat, but I'll give folks another, I don't know, how about 14 more seconds, and then we'll fire it up.
Those commercials were incredible, Dave. Wonderful memory.
Yeah, I love those commercials. They're so much fun, and they just take you back.
Yes, it does show you how influential those early days of MTV were on the advertising agencies.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, we got one bonus entry in. Let me go ahead and click on the little draw button here and see who our winner is tonight. Fingers crossed. Well, anyone. Look at this. John Collins, a channel member for over 50 months. Actually, I think he's my longest supporting channel member, so I couldn't be more tickled to see John be our winner tonight. Congratulations, John. Hey, John, I know I probably have it somewhere, but if you would go ahead and email me your physical address, make sure I have an updated version, and I'll forward your information on to the good folks at ReMIND magazine. So that's awesome. Congratulations, John. Let me go ahead and take this off screen. And okay, here we go. We need to play this first, and then we'll be right back to do the trivia.
It's time to test your trivia skills. Just how much you know about the shows that thrill. Will you be at the top of the game today? Or will you just wish it all went away? You never know when it's trivia time. It's trivia time. It's Mother FM trivia time. So yippee-ki-yay, let's play.
Tonight's trivia topic from the March issue of ReMIND magazine is, how well do you know 80s music? Let's do this.
All right, let's do it. I've got my issue of ReMIND magazine here. I'm going back to the pages 56 and 57, but we're going to stay on page 56 because we're going to do the first 10 questions on how well do you know 80s music. So, and I'll give everybody, the way we play is you can do what I do, which is just lock your answer in your noggin. But you can, if you want, put your answer in the chat. You can write it on a piece of paper, do whatever you want, okay? And I'll give everybody about 30 seconds for each question. And then when we hit the halfway point, after question 5, I'll ask everybody how they're doing score-wise. And then we'll get final scores at the end as well. Let me go ahead and make sure that I have my timer ready to go. Yep, there it is. All right. Question number 1. You ready, Paul?
I am, Dave. Yes.
Okay. Most people know that MTV officially launched on August 1st, 1981 with the song Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles. But what was played second? Was it A, I'm going to start the timer now. Was it A, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen? B, I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts? C, You Better Run by Pat Benatar? Or D, Brass in Pocket by the Pretenders? If you paid attention to that video, I played a clip from it. So you should know the answer to this one. I thought it was a tough question, so I wanted to make sure I got that hint out there for everyone early on. All right. Paul, do you want to fathom a guess, or do you want to...
I promise I'm not looking at the answers, but yes, I believe it's Pat Benatar, You Better Run, C.
Absolutely. C, You Better Run by Pat Benatar, a great, great song. All right, let's go on to question number 2. You know, I knew the first one without any sort of research or anything, but I got to tell you, I didn't know the answer to this one off the bat. I had to kind of do process of elimination time, like date-wise, kind of work through things, and then it was still a guess. I did guess right, though. Question number 2 is this. MTV's first day of broadcast featured over 100 unique videos. And by the way, in this magazine, they have a list of every single video that played during that first day. It's so cool to see.
I was astounded to see that. Yes.
Yes, so cool. But MTV's first day of broadcast featured over 100 unique videos. Which of these songs was not part of the network's initial launch? I'm starting the timer. A, You Better, You Better, You Bet, or I added too many You Betters there, by The Who. B, In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. C, Do You Think I'm Sexy by Rod Stewart. Or D, I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Folks, just a reminder, I don't have it in the description section yet, but I'm going to have a special offer in the description section for you to click on if you want to get ReMIND magazine at its absolute lowest rate. I believe it's $12 for the entire year. This is a, what is it, $5, I think, or $6.99 newsstand price. So you basically get the entire year for the cost of a couple of issues. So incredible deal. The correct answer, Paul, do you know what it is?
I would guess C, and I think I'm wrong. By proximity.
I knew what it was because I remember Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. That album didn't come out until later. So it's I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. D is your correct answer on that one. That's a tough question, though. Super tough. They get easier. They get easier. Like this one.
Oh, yeah.
They get easier. Number 3, Michigan native Madonna, who was such a force on MTV early on, released her first single, Everybody, in 1982. What is her last name? Starting the timer up. Your choices are A, Ciccone. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I can do the other ones correct. B, Luis. C, Fortin. Or D, Miller. Those are your choices. We'll give folks another 15 seconds or so to kind of think through the choices and or put it in the chat if you want to. All right. What do you think it is, Paul?
Yeah, that one was too easy. It's Ciccone, A.
Ciccone. Is that how it's pronounced?
I think so. Yeah, as far as I remember. Yes.
That sounds right. I don't know if I've ever actually heard it pronounced, and that sounds right. Okay, good. Number 4, which of the following correctly lists all of Michael Jackson's siblings? Now, this one's tough, so you're going to have to listen to me carefully, folks. And I'm not going to start the timer yet because we're going to work through these choices. A, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, Randy, LaToya, Janet, and Rebby. Or Rebby. I think it's Rebby. B, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, Randy, and Janet. C, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, Randy, Janet, LaToya. Or D, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, Michael, Janet, and LaToya. Now I'm going to start the timer. I'm going to do it one more time in case you need to hear these again. All of Michael's siblings. A, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, Randy, LaToya, Janet, Rebby. B, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, Randy, and Janet. C, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, Randy, Janet, LaToya. D, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, Michael, Janet, LaToya. There's one there that you can just eliminate by... Well, there's one that's easy elimination. Then you can work through the rest.
Yeah.
Timer's up. You want to give it a guess, Paul?
They all should have been in the cartoon. I'd go with the crowd and go with A.
A is correct. Yep, A is indeed correct. You can't forget Rebby. So there you go.
Little Janet on Good Times. That was so much. Yep. Oh, and Different Strokes. Yeah.
Yeah, and Different Strokes as well. Absolutely. All right, number 5. Which Bruce Springsteen album was recorded largely at his home on a cassette recorder and marked a stark departure from his earlier sound? Your choices are A, The River, B, Darkness on the Edge of Town, C, Nebraska, or D, Born in the USA. So again, he recorded this at home, just used a recorder, so it had a really raw sound. Your choices are A, The River, B, Darkness on the Edge of Town, C, Nebraska, or D, Born in the USA. Paul, which one do you think it is?
I love Bruce, but I have no idea. C or D?
What's that?
C or D?
I think it's C because I think D was too polished because that was
right. Exactly.
Born
Yes.
in the USA and
Very good
Gloria.
point.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it's C. I do have to look the answer up on this one because I am not either the aficionado of Bruce. I mean, I think he's great, but C is correct. C is correct. Good job. Good. All right, let's see how folks are doing. Let me go in and let's get some scores, folks. Tell us how you're doing tonight. Ward Arcade points out the Rebby's actual name is Maureen. I did not know that.
Wow.
I thought her name was Rebby. Okay, waiting for scores. Auburn Kim is 4 of 5. Missed one. Ian C is 4 of 5. He's missed one as well. Claude Sailing is 0 so far. Hope you're having a good time still, Claude. Don't let that score get you down. Lamont Bradford is 2 of 5. Michelle Books is 3 of 5. Let's see. Channel member Tracy Roth Myers is 3 of 5. Travis Taylor 5000 is 3 of 5. But here's the deal: all guesses. So that's pretty darn good. Travis Taylor 5000. Gary Carpenter 4 of 5. Channel member Rachel in the 208 5 of 5. Wow. Well done, Rachel in the 208. She's over there in my neighboring state, Idaho. I learned that. That's the 208 part of her username. Nick Mamonis, 4 of 5. Channel member Queen KC2, 1 of 5. Let's see. Ward Arcade got sidetracked a little bit. That's okay. You know what? That's the beauty of a live stream. You're allowed to get sidetracked. Willie Bowens, 4 of 5. Channel member Angela McCardle, 4 of 5. Dolph Quick, 2 of 5. Channel member John Collins, 2 of 5, already a subscriber of ReMIND magazine. I will send you something else then, my friend. So you're still our winner tonight. Channel member Music Girl 67 is 3 of 5. She says, isn't doing too good tonight. I need to pay better attention, I think. Yeah, because you are my music expert, young lady. Let's see. I think that's it for scores. So let's keep rolling, Paul. What do you say?
Let's go. Yes.
Let's go.
Dave, I'm having so much fun. Normally I'm here in the Playhouse playing, through the comments.
And you're 4 of 5 as well, right?
I'm 201.
No.
Oh,
4 of 5.
I think so. Yes.
Okay. Good to know your area code too.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. In New Jersey.
Number 6. What Duran Duran song was inspired by the band's fascination with spy films and featured one of MTV's most iconic 80s videos? Your choices are A, Rio, B, Hungry Like the Wolf, C, A View to a Kill, or D, Save a Prayer. My hint to everybody on this one is, because I did this and I missed this when I first played it, don't overthink it. Don't overthink this one. That's my hint to everybody. Your choices are A, Rio, B, Hungry Like the Wolf, C, A View to a Kill, or D, Save a Prayer. It's again, what Duran Duran song was inspired by the band's fascination with spy films? Paul, what is the answer?
It is C, A View to a Kill.
Correct. I got thinking, I was just sitting there going through it, playing it myself earlier today, and I was thinking, well, that's the obvious answer, but maybe Hungry Like the Wolf was the one that really, maybe because he was wandering around with these cool kind of glasses, and it kind of had a story too. But so I missed that one. Let's see. 7. The Police won the Grammy Award for the Song of the Year in 1984. For what song? Your choices are A, Roxanne, B, Every Breath You Take, C, Don't Stand So Close to Me, or D, Message in a Bottle. As I think through that list of songs, man, oh man, the early 80s, the Police were just so awesome. What a great, all 4 songs are awesome, but they won a Grammy in 84 for this one. Your choices again are A, Roxanne, B, Every Breath You Take, C, Don't Stand So Close to Me, or D, Message in a Bottle. What do you think it is, Paul?
I still watch the Grammys every year, and I remember this, and I own the 45. It's B, Every Breath You Take.
Yeah, which is kind of a creepo song if you really understand and listen to the words. Man, that's like stalker stuff.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
It reminds me now that there's the Billy Joel documentary for 1 second, and one of Billy Joel's first songs when he was with his first group, very similar to Every Breath You Take. Yeah,
I'll have to check it out. I didn't know. I did not realize that Billy was in a group prior to his solo career.
Yes, and the name escapes me for the moment. I'm sure
easy to look up after.
Yes.
I've got some research to do because I'm a big Billy Joel fan.
Yes, the Hassles, that's what their name was.
Okay, the Hassles.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Leave it up to the community. They always know. Number 8. This is another one that I did not get right. Who sang Honky Tonk Man, widely considered to be the first country music video to air on MTV? So your choices are A, Dolly Parton, B, Willie Nelson, C, Dwight Yoakam, or D, Juice Newton. And I got to tell you, I don't remember a ton of country music on. I think the first thing I remember country music wise on MTV might have been Neil Young doing his little country thing there in the early 80s.
Yes, I remember. Right.
Apparently this was before that. And do you want to fathom a guess? Like I said, I missed it, so I don't.
I have no idea. I do remember Juice Newton being on a lot, but she was probably on VH1 at that point.
That's the one I went with. I went with Juice because that's who I saw on MTV a lot. Angel in the Morning and a couple other songs.
But the crowd seems to think it's C. It seems
it is C. Yeah, C is the correct answer.
The viewers, I should say, not the crowd. Yes.
The wisdom of the crowd, right? They typically do know. So good job, crowd, community, awesome work. We've got 2 more questions, and then we'll get final scores. Number 9. What was the most played music video of all time on MTV, according to Time Magazine? So this is what Time Magazine says, and so it's probably right. Your choices are A, Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel, B, Thriller by Michael Jackson, C, Material Girl by Madonna, or D, Beat It by Michael Jackson. So you got a couple by Michael Jackson there you can go with, or Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel, or Material Girl by Madonna are your choices. Give folks a few more seconds, then Paul, I'm going to ask you to.
All right.
What do you think?
This is a big thing. Meaning, I think it won an MTV Video Award very early on. I'd say Sledgehammer. I'd say.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
I think it won Video of the Year when the first MTV.
You may be right. Yep, I think you may be right. That wasn't. I love a lot of Peter Gabriel music. I got to say that wasn't my favorite Peter Gabriel song, and they played it so much on MTV. I kind of got sick of it after a while.
Yes.
But I do love Peter Gabriel. 10, final question of the evening. Which Toto song was released in 1982 and was the band's only number 1 hit? So pay careful attention to the year of release, and that's a little bit of a hint. A, your choices are A, Hold the Line, B, Rosanna, C, I Won't Hold You Back, or D, Africa. Now, I wasn't a huge Toto fan. I do like all those songs. I mean, everything Toto, released is listenable, and it's, just great for just listening. It doesn't tax you mentally too much.
Right, yes.
But I do love Steve Lukather, and I'm a big Tubes fan. And I loved his contributions to the Tubes in terms of songs like Talk to You Later and She's a Beauty.
Yes, very much so. I believe Steve went out in one of Ringo Starr's All-Star Band tours.
He did. You're right. I remember that. Okay.
All right. It's Africa. I really do.
Yeah, it is. It's Africa. Great song. Definitely. If it's their only number 1 hit, it's the right one. So, all right. I got, when I played this initially myself, I got 8 out of 10. Paul, did you keep track of your score?
I did not, Dave, but I feel pretty good about it.
I feel like you did great.
I can stay in the Playhouse.
Yeah, you're still welcome. And you're welcome here as well. The Playhouse.
Thank you, Dave. Everyone did so nice.
Okay, let me get some scores from folks here. I know they love to share them. Let's see. Auburn Kim got 8 out of 10. Good job. Good job, Nick Mamonis. Also rocked the house tonight. Said 8 out of 10. Ian C., a.k.a. Retro Serial, said Weezer's version is great, too. It sure is. Love Weezer's version. Michelle Books, we should say version of Africa. Michelle Books, 8 out of 10. Channel member Angela McCardle, 8 out of 10. Boy, folks did good tonight. Good job. Claude Sailing got 1. Again, hope you had fun. That's all that really matters when we play these things. Rachel, channel member Rachel in the 208, 9 out of 10. What an evening. You definitely showed your skills tonight. Ian C got 8 out of 10. Channel member Queen KC2 got 5 out of 10. Let's see. Gary Carpenter, 9 out of 10. So good job, Gary. Let's see. Channel member Tracy Rothmeyer, 6 out of 10. Travis Taylor, 5000, 7 out of 10. Mostly guesses. Again, your guessing skills are incredible, Travis. Willie Bowen, 8 out of 10. Great job. Dolph Quick, 5 out of 5. Must have joined us late. Lamont Bradford's 4 out of 10. Zuper, channel member Zuperplex kept score for you, Paul. You got 8 out of 10. Good work.
Yeah, and he's a very thank you, and he's a great Playhouse viewer.
He is. We love Zuper here. He's a fantastic supporter of both channels, apparently.
Yes.
Channel member Music Girl 67. Oh my goodness, Ms. Elizabeth. She says, I think I'm going to have to change my channel name after this. Only 6 out of 10. MTV must not be my forte. You know, maybe that's it, because I know that your music knowledge is extensive based on conversations we've had. Ward Arcade says he's pleading the 5th on his score. And
some of these were tough, Dave. They were tough.
They were. There were some tough ones there. Folks are telling Ms. Elizabeth, Music Girl 67, that she just had a off night, and that's true. We can all have them. Channel member John Collins, 4 out of 10. I guess I didn't grow up in that version of the 80s. Some of the questions were difficult. Yeah, they were. And it was, I think, the questions kind of skewed early 80s, first half of the 80s versus the second half for sure. And a youngster like you, John, I can see where that might have hurt you a little bit. Let's see. Channel member Zuperplex says thanks to you, Uncle Paul, for being here tonight. Danny Staten says great show. Indeed, it has been a great show. I knew it would be with the likes of Uncle Paul hanging out with me tonight. So fantastic stuff. Let me go over and make sure I've taken care of everybody. Oh, look at this. I want to make sure I did. I almost missed one super chat. This is from Chris Baker, another channel member. Says, the saddest recent death for me was Chuck Negron of Three Dog Night. Yeah. Wow. I mean, yeah. When he passed, I thought to myself, joy to the world.
Yes.
But then I went back and I started listening to I pulled up Three Dog Night on my on YouTube Music and just let it play. And they had so many wonderful songs.
Old Fashioned Love Song.
Yeah.
The show must go on. And Chuck battled a lot of demons. So a wonderful musician and singer.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the super chat, Chris. You are really appreciate your support and your engagement. And Uncle Paul, for heaven's sakes, it has been a fantastic night. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. I'm honored to have been able to join you and your viewers, subscribers. Thank you so much, Dave. It means the world to me. Thank you.
All right. Let me go ahead and I'm going to cue a couple videos to take us on out of here. And folks, you're the best. What a wonderful community I have. Thank you so much. And I hope this week, it's Monday, so we're just starting a new week. I hope you have an awesome one. Thanks for being here with us tonight. You are all awesome.
Don't be a joker. Click on that little thumbs up icon and give this video a like.
You are special.
Welcome to Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse, where the fun never ends, and you'll always find new friends at Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse. At Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse. Welcome to Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse. Welcome to Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse, where the fun never ends. Click on that thumbnail, cause it's time to go. Dave's got the classics, let the memories flow. TV shows and movies that we all hold so dear. On his YouTube channel, he's keeping memories near. Dave Sundstrom, bringing back the good stuff, oh yeah.